It has been fascinating to see how the rise in popularity of heated rivalry has crossed over into affecting the actual sports world, taking people who had never thought about becoming hockey fans before and turning them into people who are really interested in the sport and exploring leagues like the NHL and the PWHL. But it also means that we're hitting that inevitable pushback point that is the reason I started making content about sports in the first place. We saw it with the bump in the NFL viewership when Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce started dating, and of course in Formula One after Drive to Survive came out. And that's where we start to see this large influx of new fans that previously did not feel demographically welcome in a sporting space explore something that they didn't think was for them because of a piece of media that opened up a new interest, and the fans that were there previously trying to make sure that they can gatekeep their sport and make sure that people, specifically women, feel very unwelcome in that space. And while I will say I think heated rivalry has been an interesting case because there has been a lot of the opposite of that, we are still seeing the same pattern that has happened before. Something becomes very popular in a demographic that was not previously represented in that sport. Those people then become very excited about that sport and want to explore it more, and when they get there, they find that they are quizzed by previous fans about how much they know about the sport and told that they're not real fans because of the way that they got into it. And what I think is really interesting about this phenomenon is that when you talk about becoming a fan of anything, whether it's sports, a movie, or something else, the only way you become a fan of that thing is because someone else introduced you to it. You don't come out of the womb and know everything about hockey. Being a fan of something is not a character trait that comes with your genetics. It's a thing that you eventually discover, whether it's at a young age or an older age, and become very deeply attached to. And I think the core reason why this happens, why fan bases really want to reject new people coming into their space, is that people are frequently afraid of change. And ultimately, the demographics of people that are becoming new fans of this sport are people who spend more money. And when that happens, when a demographic with higher purchasing power comes into a space, things have to change to welcome that demographic and their dollars into that sporting space. Sports are inherently entertainment and they are a business. And so that means when we see new fans coming in and taking over a space, their money talks and can drive change. While everything doesn't change overnight, when you see a new influx of fans, hopefully you want to keep them in that space. And so the hope from some of those other fans is that if they make you feel less welcome in a space, you'll stop coming, you'll stop spending your money, and they will stop having to change things to make it more accommodating to you. And I hope the biggest thing we can all take away from this is that there is no sort of quiz or qualification to be able to be a fan of a sport. There's no right way or wrong way to become a fan of a sport. And whether someone started watching hockey because their dad was a hockey fan when they were born, or because they watched a romance television show that was set in the world of hockey, either one of those paths to becoming a sports fan is incredibly valid. The only thing that matters now is that you want to enjoy yourself. You don't have to know all of the rules of the game to be able to go to one. And you should be able to ask any question that you have and be answered back by someone who's willing to not only answer your question, but is happy and enthusiastic that you're here.